As violent anti-ICE protests continue to flood Minnesota, DHS is now deploying hundreds of more federal agents to combat the rioters in that state.
Matt Finn joins us live in Minneapolis with the details. Hey, Matt.
Good morning. DHS sources tell Fox up to 1,000 additional agents will surge the Minneapolis area. That's on top of the already 2,000 agents that are here. But the Democratic Mayor, Jacob Frey, says these agents are going to be met with resistance.
We have thousands and hundreds of thousands of people that are standing up for their neighbors right now. We have people that are not taking the bait of this Trump administration because they all know, we know, they're looking for any excuse to come in with greater force and occupy our city. We're grinning down this bear. We are doing right by our city and the people in it, and we're not backing down.
Now, cell phone video from the ICE officer who fired the deadly shot at Renee Good seems to show Renee's wife taunting the agent moments before telling her wife to drive off.
I said, go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Oh! And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is standing by the ICE officer who fired the shots and killed Renee Good in what Noem calls domestic terrorism in Mayor Frey's city.
If you look at what the definition of domestic terrorism is, it completely fits the situation on the ground. This individual, as you saw in the video that we released just 48 hours after this incident, showed that this officer was hit by her vehicle. She weaponized it, and he defended his life and those colleagues around him and the public.
Also, new video leading up to the moments of Renee Good's shooting death by an ICE agent on Wednesday. Video appears to show Renee Good's SUV parked in the street, honking the horn and possibly taunting officers, even dancing in the driver's seat. Now, Border Patrol tells us it's dangerous for agents to be blocked in by a car because there are so many anti-ICE agitators who quickly surround them. Also, a new video from late yesterday apparently shows federal agents using crowd control tactics, firing tear gas and pepper balls at protesters outside the federal building where ICE detainees are being held. An independent photographer who was there says protesters tried to stop traffic in and out of the federal facility. Now, Fox News did a ride-along with Border Patrol here. We saw cars trailing agents for miles around the city, even after the shooting death of Renee Good, one car even intentionally blocking in federal agents. At one point, Border Patrol warned two women to stop trailing them.
If I continually see you following us, interfering with us, honking your horn, blocking our cars, you have a very high probability of making a really bad decision and being arrested today, okay?
I think I'm making exactly the right decision.
So you heard Mayor Frey say that there are thousands and thousands of people protesting and resisting against ICE here. During the ride-along, we saw that in real time. You know, as soon as these Border Patrol agents get out of their car to apprehend anyone or question anyone, they're surrounded by people with those ear-piercing whistles. And so there are neighborhood watches here for immigration agents, and they are in full effect in Minneapolis right now. Back to you guys in New York.
All right, thanks, Matt. What's happened is unacceptable, and what they're obstructing, because ICE has released some of the people that they have arrested that they claim to be watching these protesters. So someone was convicted of homicide, a Burmese national. They got arrested by ICE, a Guatemalan illegal alien in the country. Wanted for homicide, already committed homicide, was arrested. Attempted homicide from someone from Sudan. A Somalian convicted of manslaughter. A Mexican illegal convicted of homicide. 2 counts of homicide, Sierra Leone. 2 conviction of homicide, alliteration. And the Sudan national convicted of homicide, rape against a child. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And these guys that are in the middle of the street, including, tragically, the woman that lost her life the other day because she tried to ram an officer, are all preventing ICE from doing their job, arresting those people.
So they're protecting those criminals
100%.
instead of protecting the law enforcement who's out there trying to make Minnesota safer. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, she announced an updated restriction on the congressional visits to these ICE detention facilities, because she says when these lawmakers go in unannounced, it creates unsafe conditions for the lawmakers and for the ICE agents. And she said they're all trying to get in these detention centers. It's a circus-like publicity stunt rather than legitimate oversight. So lawmakers now, if they want to go into one of the ICE facilities, they have the right to do that. They just have to notify a week in advance, 7 days in advance. And on Saturday, there were 3 House Democrats, including Ilhan Omar and Angie Craig and Kelly Morrison, who are Democrats from Minnesota. They were denied entry into a facility in Minnesota. And this is what Ilhan Omar said.
When people are disappeared in the darkness, American democracy dies.
Congresswoman,
and it is really important for every single person in this country to understand that they are not only disappearing people who have committed crimes, who are in this country undocumented. They are disappearing U.S. citizens.
Of course, all that, those are just lies. And Ilhan Omar and other politicians who have fomented all of this and encouraged people to go out and get involved and disrupt these ICE actions, I would argue have blood on their hands. This is, these agents they're not there because they feel like it or because they want to be there. They're there because they have a constitutional responsibility to enforce the law. That is why they are there. And if Ilhan Omar has a problem with the laws, she can go and change the laws. Lawrence, you spoke earlier with former Senator Kyrsten Sinema, and I thought that she had a very basic but a very important point about the two sides, about the executive branch and the legislative branch working out their differences.
I'm an Arizona native, and so the work that the Department of Homeland Security does in Arizona is so important because this is real for us. This matters to us every single day. And ICE, they do a very important function. They help catch the guys who are very dangerous, folks who are rapists and murderers, and get them out of the country. Congress is not new, and neither is D.C., to circus-like publicity stunts, right?
That is Congress.
We've seen those for years. And look, both parties engage in that activity. Right. The reality is if you want to do good oversight, you work with the co-equal branches of government and find a solution that allows you to do oversight and also allow those men and women to do their jobs.
I would say real quickly, Ainsley, is that my concern right now is less with the elected officials and their stunts, because she is right. Both parties do stunt. But the elected officials are giving marching orders to these protesters that are breaking the law and putting themselves in very dangerous situations. When you start impeding, when you start ramming at officers, you put yourself and your life at danger. There's certain protocols that you need to conduct yourself when you're approached with law enforcement, especially when you've already broken the law. So you can't go around the whole day following law enforcement, using your vehicle to obstruct, and then when a cop comes, by the way, those cops didn't even have their guns drawn. One of the cops that was actually fired the shot had his film recording what was going on. So if they come to you peaceful, say, look, if you keep doing this, you're going to get yourself arrested. Maybe you should comply with those commands. That's not saying you can't protest, but go on the sidewalk. Don't be in the middle of the street.
Well, the White House, Abigail Jackson says Somali fraudsters have stolen millions, it's actually billions, from hardworking Minnesota taxpayers, while Democrats looked the other way. Now they are desperately trying to distract from their failures with political stunts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So true.
Truly incredible.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.